Welcome to the Church Solutions Podcast, brought to you by JSL Solutions. The Church Solutions Podcast is designed to help equip you and your church in the use of technology and other tools and services. And now, here are your hosts, Steve Lacey and Phil Thompson.
Welcome to another edition of the Church Solutions Podcast. My name is Phil Thompson, and my partner in crime, Steve Lacey, will be here in a moment or so. It's good to be with you. We are a tech company called JSL Solutions, and we work with mainly churches and ministries. We love helping churches and ministries use technology, and one of our products is streaming video, which is why we have a guest today on our podcast. We have recently partnered with a company called Sling Studio, and Sling Studio is a great product to help churches that are interested in streaming video. Maybe you're already doing it. Maybe you're thinking about it. Sling Studio is something you really ought to consider. We've experimented with it here. We love it a lot. And we have the Director of Product Management with us today. His name is Jeff Sasagawa. And Jeff, how are you today?
I'm doing fine. Thanks a lot, Phil.
Well, we're glad to have you. Steve Lacey will be with us here in a little moment or so. So I want to just kind of jump into this. You are the Director of Product Management, and I think this is important because I really want people that are interested in streaming video to hear about this product. We like it a lot. You can do a lot with it when it comes to streaming video, especially people who may not be super tech savvy. It gives you a lot of options here. Tell us briefly, for those who may not know much about Sling Studio, what is it, Jeff, and how can it help their church?
Yeah, so we're excited about our Sling Studio for churches to be able to stream their services, their Sunday services, and other events to their congregation, and to do it with, like you said, Phil, with the ease of just taking a few minutes to learn how to use it and be able to take advantage of its wireless capabilities that allows you to use virtually any camera that you have today and have a multi-camera video production of your church service, and be able to wirelessly stream it from your camera using our device to the Sling Studio Hub. And that Sling Studio Hub allows you to use an iPad or a Mac to simply switch from the camera on pastor, but then switch it to the choir and switch it to the band and a wide shot, and be able to stream that all to your service, as well as several other services. So it works with streamingchurch.tv and several other services, and do it in a manner where it takes just a few minutes to learn.
You know, it's really good. We've messed around with it here. We've got a couple of customers that are now using it, and they like it a lot. And I like it for a lot of reasons. So first of all, most people that do streaming video, a lot of them have software-based live encoders, vMix, Wirecast, OBS. You download it on your computer or whatever it is. You're pretty much stuck in the sound booth or somewhere. But with Sling Studio here, the console that you load on your iPad or your Mac, especially you can certainly carry your Mac around, but the iPad's kind of nice because you can walk around with it, so to speak. And if you've got multi-cameras, you're not like chained to the back of the platform or back of the auditorium. You can literally walk around and do some switching, can't you?
Yeah, it gives the church videographer or volunteer the ability just to walk around with an iPad, for example.
Yeah.
And be able to, because sometimes it's a one-man show, sometimes there are a couple of volunteers, but sometimes there's a need to walk around to the one camera or to the audio mixer. Sure. And make those adjustments. And it's also very helpful for when you're setting up the equipment, because it's nice to have an iPad or the user interface to go to a camera and see what the shot looks like from the user interface or to the mixer. So from the whole setup to live production, it's great to have the ability to be mobile, to be portable.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can use one camera with it, or you can use many cameras. How many cameras, if you really wanted to, how many cameras could you put on this thing?
Yeah, you could use up to 10 cameras, wow. 4 of them live, but you can have 6 other cameras, whether it's on the the congregation, or it's on a wide shot or some other shots, you can have up to 6 additional cameras you can bring into the production and swap out with the other 4 live ones, so up to 10.
And you could even use your phone, couldn't you? You could actually, if you wanted to do like sneak a shot in or something up close, maybe the band, if you have a band that leads music at your church, you could actually use your phone as a camera, couldn't you?
Absolutely. I've been to many different church services where they wish they had an additional camera and they just use their phone, because sometimes it's appropriate to use your phone when you don't need to have the big zoom, and you can just point it toward the congregation, or have it on the choir, or maybe there's some children little skit that's going on and you want to have that extra shot. There's many different ways you can use that additional camera, the phone.
Yeah. So we're speaking with Jeff Sasagawa here, and Jeff is the Director of Product Management, as I mentioned earlier. And you're no stranger when it comes to video, right? I mean, you've been doing video for a long time.
Yeah, I've been, from the work point of view, doing it for decades.
Wow.
But we, from a personal point of view, I've been a videographer for decades as well, and recording not just church services, but all different live events. And this product we started about 3 years ago, working with testers initially, with experts, and with, including churches, and learning from that entire experience what the churches and what other videographers need for their entire workflow, from setup all the way to post-production, because we make that easy to use with those that do post-production. But we've been testing it for over 1,000 hours of live events, including many of them, as I mentioned, for the Sunday services.
Yeah, and again, we work with pretty much churches and ministries exclusively, and we're working with some people that are not necessarily experts with video or experts with tech. But this product here, the Sling Studio thing, I mean, it's pretty easy to use, and you've got a lot of help videos as well.
Yes, we do. We have quite a few video tutorials. We just uploaded a few this week, and some other articles. But it's just amazing and a great experience to see the church volunteers who have never used a switcher before, and be able to give them the iPad, and within a few minutes have them do the switching and directing, and be able to do it with ease, and to be able to, even bring in graphics, custom graphics and video imports, and do split screen, PIP, all the different things that normally take you, days and months to learn to do on some of the more complex traditional switchers. This, I've seen volunteers learn how to use it within 5 minutes and do a service. And, at the end of the service, they have a big smile on their face, because it's really so easy and so empowering that it's just a great experience. And
we touched on this earlier, but it's portable, and so what we mean by that is, okay, most people think, well, I'm going to stream my service, and it's inside my auditorium. But if you wanted to do something outside the service, if you wanted to, maybe you do your baptisms outside if you're in Arizona or California, or maybe you've got some outdoor activities that you want to stream or record. Sling Studio is perfect for that because it's so portable.
Exactly. So with the optional battery pack, when you connect it to the Sling Studio, it gives you over 3 hours of battery life. So you can take it virtually anywhere. So you can do it for church. We have churches using it for their outdoor baptisms. This Easter service, a lot of folks did their sunrise service outdoors, outside the sanctuary. We have churches using it for their church youth hall, where they have concerts and other live events. And even church basketball leagues, where they stream the basketball league, the game, to their congregation. So it's very portable.
And we all know those church basketball leagues, they can be pretty nasty. So you want to make sure you have video, a lot of video on that, just to catch those dirty tactics. I'm being funny, although I have played in those leagues, and somewhat serious. All right, so this is I like this product, and as I said earlier, we are partnering with Sling Studio, and I'm going to tell you where you can get a little more information on it. But let's talk a little bit about the cost, because we've got pastors, leaders listening to this podcast, and I'm sure people are going, well, it sounds good, but how much does it cost? Tell us a little bit about the prices for something like this.
Sure. So for just to start off with, the Sling Studio Hub is under $1,000, $999. And if some of our, if you're a church that just wants to start to stream using that with multiple cameras and just use phone, the software on the phone for the Capture app and on the iPad or Mac for switching is all free. So you could start with just $1,000 product, but if you want to add additional cameras, the first camcorder you can plug into it directly with HDMI. That doesn't cost you anything. But for the second and third and fourth camera, there's an incremental price of $350 for the camera link. So you can have a 3-camera camcorder solution using your camcorders for $2,000, but you can have a starter kit for $1,000. So extremely affordable, and it also works with your existing switcher. If you want, you can connect it to your existing switcher if you have that, or vice versa. You can connect the switcher into the Sling Studio. So it's adaptable even for the systems you have today.
Yeah, and while we're talking a little bit about some tech stuff here, with Sling Studio, you have you can to connect with, like, for instance, with us, streamingchurch.tv, we would give people credentials and our TMP address, and you only, with Sling Studio at this point, you only really have one destination, but there are options out there. So if you want to stream to Facebook while you're streaming to your website, you want to stream to YouTube, there's ways to do that, right?
Yes, there are services out there. One service that we've been using is called Restream.io. That allows you to stream to multiple services concurrently.
Yeah, so you could, that's one option, and you can just go to Restream.io, and you can work with them, and it's very reasonable, and you can go to multiple places. So that's one little workaround with that issue there. But really, I mean, the bottom line is this thing is portable. You can put it in a backpack. You can do lots of things with it. I think it's great, especially if you're new to streaming video, or if you've been doing it for years. It's a great option, and I really, again, we're partnering with you guys, but I think it's something. The reason we're partnering is because we think it's a good product, and that's why we're encouraging people to look into it. So what I'm going to do here, Jeff, is I'm going to give people, we've got information on our website, streamingchurch.tv, so people can go to streamingchurch.tv and click on the slider there and get more information, or they can go to one of our blog sites, newmediaministries.tv. But if people do want to buy this, like you said, it's very reasonable, and we're actually throwing in a little gift for people that decide to go this direction. There's a little promo box, I think, if people want to buy, and if they just enter SCTV, stands for Streaming Church TV, Streaming Church, SCTV, they're going to get a USB-C adapter for no additional cost. But tell us, for those of us who don't know what that is, what's a USB-C adapter, and how can they use it?
Yeah, so the USB-C adapter connects directly into our Sling Studio Hub, and when you connect it, it allows you to connect Ethernet cable directly into the box. So if you want to use Ethernet, if you have that, you can stream to the internet and to the services such as streamingchurch.tv. It also has 2 connectors for USB 3.0 drives. That's in the case where you want to perhaps store the recordings not on the SD card, which is built into the box, or SD card slot, but if you want to use a USB 3.0 drive. And then the drive is also useful for adding images for custom graphics and videos as well.
Yeah, good stuff. All right, good deal. Well, Jeff, I like what you guys are doing. I think you're doing a good job, and I think it's something that's really all churches and ministries ought to look into. Sling Studio, it's easy to use. It's portable. It's a reasonable cost. You can do multiple cameras, and you don't have to be a tech genius to use it, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, good deal. All right, sir. Well, Jeff, I'm going to let you go. I sure appreciate your time. We've been speaking with Jeff Sasagawa, and Jeff is the Director of Product Management. If you have some questions for Jeff, you can always just go through us for that. Support at streamingchurch.tv. That's the email address. If maybe you're using this product and you want to give us some feedback, we'd love to hear from you. Or if you have questions, we'll answer them. And if I can't answer them, I'm sure Jeff will. Support at streamingchurch.tv. And again, you can Google, obviously, Sling Studio. You guys are owned by a company by the name of Dish. Am I correct on that?
Yes, Dish Network is the mother company, and we're part of that, and we have used our Slingbox technology for their products, but more importantly for this call, we've used Slingbox technology, which has allowed folks to stream high-def content for over a decade over the internet and over wireless networks, and we've used that for our wireless technology for this video production solution. It's not obviously a consumer TV box, but it definitely allows us to have this robust wireless solution.
Yeah, good deal. All right. Well, my partner in crime did not make it in here. He got tied up on something, Steve Lacey, but I think we handled this okay without Steve. So we'll catch him next time. So I'm going to take off here, folks. Again, we gave you the contact information. If you need anything, contact us at support@streamingchurch.tv. Jeff, thanks for spending a little bit of time with us today. We sure appreciate it.
Well, it's been a pleasure, Phil. We're excited about this partnership with streamingchurch.tv.
We are too. It's good stuff. So, all right, folks, thank you for your time today. You've been listening to the Church Solutions Podcast. For Steve Lacey, I'm Phil Thompson. Have yourself a great day. We will catch you next time for another edition of the Church Solutions Podcast.